Once upon a time, in the midst of Jonah's tumultuous journey, God provided him with a leafy plant. This plant grew quickly, casting a comforting shade over Jonah's head, relieving him from the harsh desert sun. In that moment, Jonah's heart swelled with happiness, for the simple gift of this plant had brought him immense comfort. It seemed like a small miracle, but as dawn broke on the following day, God introduced a twist in Jonah's story. He sent a lowly worm to chew away at the plant, causing it to wither and die. Suddenly, the sun bore down relentlessly on Jonah's head, sapping his strength and leaving him feeling faint and miserable. In his despair, Jonah even wished for death, exclaiming, "I'm so angry, I wish I were dead." It's a tale of the human condition, isn't it? We often find joy and solace in the gifts and blessings that come our way. Like Jonah, when good fortune graces our lives, we're elated and we revel in the warmth of those moments. But what happens when the tide turns? When, like the worm, hardship and disappointment creep in? Jonah's story beautifully illustrates this ebb and flow. God's work is not limited to the joyful moments when the vine is flourishing. He is equally present in the trying times when the worm and the scorching wind assail us. Through both blessings and trials, God plays a pivotal role in our growth and transformation. Consider the worm. It serves as a metaphor for those moments when we falter, when we stray from the path God has set for us. Just as it chewed away at the plant, our disobedience can lead to sorrow, loss, and disappointment. But even in these difficult times, God is at work, guiding us back to the right path, teaching us valuable lessons, and deepening our faith. The wind, too, has its purpose. It may bring affliction, pain, and distress. But through these hardships, God refines us, molding us into better versions of ourselves. It's through adversity that our faith is tested and strengthened. In Jonah's case, God used the worm and the wind to reveal a deeper truth. Jonah had become too focused on the vine, finding his comfort and joy in its shade. He had become a vine-centered person, loving the gifts more than the giver. When God took away the vine, Jonah's hidden anger toward God resurfaced. Isn't this a reflection of our own lives at times? We can become so entangled in the joys and blessings of this world that we forget the ultimate source of our happiness, the Creator Himself. When our attachment to His gifts surpasses our devotion to Him, we risk losing sight of our true purpose. In the quiet aftermath of Jonah's tumultuous journey, we're reminded of another tale of unwavering faith and obedience, found in the book of Genesis. It's the story of Abraham, the father of faith. God called Abraham to leave his homeland and journey to an unknown land, promising to make him the father of a great nation. Genesis 12:1-4 says, "The Lord had said to Abram, 'Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you.' So Abram went, as the Lord had told him." Imagine the weight of that divine command, to leave behind everything familiar and embark on a journey into uncertainty. Abraham's obedience, though not without moments of doubt and testing, ultimately paved the way for the fulfillment of God's promise. As we reflect on Jonah's obedience when he finally chose to follow God's call, we find a parallel with Abraham's journey. Both men stepped into the unknown, trusting in God's plan, even when the path ahead seemed unclear. But let's not stop there. The Bible is replete with stories of individuals who, like Jonah, experienced the highs and lows of life's vine, worm, and wind moments. Consider the story of Joseph, the dreamer. His life was a roller coaster ride of blessings and trials. He was favored by his father, Jacob, and given a beautiful coat of many colors. However, his jealous brothers sold him into slavery, leading to a life of hardship and imprisonment. Genesis 39:2-3 tells us, "The Lord was with Joseph, so that he prospered. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord gave him success in everything he did." In the darkest depths of despair, Joseph maintained his faith in God's providence. He eventually rose to prominence, interpreting dreams for Pharaoh and playing a pivotal role in Egypt's salvation during a time of famine. Joseph's story teaches us that even in the bleakest of circumstances, God can work through us to bring about his purpose. Now, let's pivot to a New Testament narrative. The story of Peter, the impulsive disciple of Jesus. Peter walked on water for a brief moment, a testament to his faith. However, when he took his eyes off Jesus and focused on the storm, he began to sink. Matthew 14:29-30 recounts this moment. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and, beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Peter's experience mirrors Jonah's moment of despair when the worm withered the vine. Both highlight the importance of keeping our eyes fixed on God, regardless of life's challenges. It's when we look away that we falter, but God's grace is ever present to lift us up when we call out to him. And how can we forget the story of David, the shepherd boy turned king? David's life was a tapestry of joys and sorrows, much like the vine and worm in Jonah's story. He defeated the giant Goliath, was anointed as king, and composed beautiful psalms of praise. Yet, he also faced adversity, such as the betrayal of his own son, Absalom. Psalm 27:1 captures David's unwavering faith. "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" In moments of triumph and despair, David's heart remained steadfast in its devotion to God. His psalms, filled with both praise and lament, remind us that God is our refuge in times of trouble. So, as we return to Jonah's story, let us do so with a broader perspective, recognizing that life's journey is a tapestry of vine, worm, and wind moments. In each of these, God is present, shaping us, refining us, and calling us to deeper obedience and unwavering faith. As we navigate our own paths, may we emulate the faith of Abraham, the resilience of Joseph, the focus of Peter, and the devotion of David. And, like Jonah, may we learn that the true source of purpose and joy is not found in the fleeting comforts of the vine, but in the steadfast love of the giver, our faithful God. Let us continue this journey of faith, knowing that God's providence, just as it did in these stories, continues to guide us through every twist and turn, leading us toward a future filled with hope and purpose.